Hello, this will be a video about setting up your app or your program for your PC or Mac. So first, let's Google Dahua, Dahua, wiki, and that'll take us to the first page or first option on Google search, and we want to go to the Smartpss. And it'll take us to a download page. This page will have downloads for both Mac and Windows, and this will work obviously on your PC or Mac, desktop, laptop. It will not work on a Chromebook. So I'm going to download the Windows version of it, and I have it down here, and it looks like it should take about a minute to download. Hopefully you can see that. Looks like my phone is capturing the refresh rate on the screen, so you might see some flickering. But as soon as this is done, then the computer will install the program, and we can add the different DVRs. This page has a lot of good information. And it has videos on how to save and record from the program. So it's a good page to go back to in case you want to do different things with the system. So it looks like the file has downloaded, and I'm going to just open the program. It'll begin an install, and I mean, this is the hardest part, kind of the waiting for the program to install, and then adding the cameras to the system is really easy. So on this screen, we'll just install the Smartpss. We're not doing a remote storage service, so we don't need that. Again, it's just gonna install it onto your program files, and it'll generate a shortcut on your desktop. Installing components. Again, this is just waiting for the computer to install the program, and we should be able to add the DVR or NVR or individual cameras to the system. This is a great way to search for recordings, because on a phone, you can do it on a phone. It's just you can only view one camera at a time on a phone, and of course the size of the phone just makes it really tough to look at the playback. If you have multiple properties, then this makes it even easier. You can have a live view of different properties. And it looks like it's finished the install. I'm going to run the system for the first time. It'll ask us to create a user password on the first time, and you can pick any user and password that you would like. This is just for your computer. So we'll do that together, and we'll get us through the first installation process. It looks like the program is ready to start. So here I'm creating a password just for myself. You can pick anything you like. This has nothing to do with the individual DVRs or cameras. Do click auto login after registration, just because it makes it so much easier. Here, you can either choose to answer these questions or not. I mean, it's really up to you. If you have auto login, you will not need to ever, you'll never forget your password because it'll log you in automatically. So it's really redundant. Let's see, it logged us in automatically. So this is our initial screen. This is just giving us a few ideas on how we can use the system, but I'm just going to close this. And first thing to do would be to, let's see if you can see this. We're going to go up to the Add tab, and we are going to input our devices via serial number. And device name, you can name it anything you like. You can put in the address for the property if you like. Serial number, I do have a test property that I'm going to put in here just to show you how easy this is. BP, let's see. And you do want to log in as an administrator, and then password. Let's see if it'll add. So here we have a line with our information, and when we have a green light here, that just means that it's logged in. If for whatever reason you don't get this green online status light, that means that your information, your domain information, your IP address or your serial number is wrong, or your password. So you can go back into your settings on your edit pencil. It's kind of hard to see on the computer, but there is an edit tab on this side. Again, once you have a green light here, that means that all the information has been entered correctly and the system recognizes your DVR. Now we can go up here and open up a new tab, and now we can go into our main menu. This will bring up our live view, and depending on how many cameras you have, then you can go down here and select 16 or 8, and then you would just go into the property tab, double click on it, and it'll bring up video for that property. So this is the same video I use for testing, and I show customers what their cameras can look like, different resolutions. So that's the live feed, and you can open up different tabs. For example, you can have all of your cameras on one and have a different property on a different tab. You can also do a playback at the same time. So that's our playback tab. And on here we can let's see, live view. Yes, playback. So on playback, we want to select the property you want to play back, and then down here you have your tab for your calendar. So you can see all these properties here have a, it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to bring this a little closer. All these properties here have a like a blue or green dot next to them. That means there's recordings during those days. So you want to pick your day. You can play back up to 24 hours at a time. So once you have your date selected, and normally down here I leave it playing a full day. So you have 0 hours to 24 hours military time. You want to hit the search button, and what it's doing, it's reading that hard drive, and it's giving us 24 hours worth of video. So I can go in here and click anywhere on that bar, and it'll give me a playback of that particular video. So you can see the time is progressing. Okay, so you would do that with any camera. You can select, for example, camera 2 here, and click 7 o'clock, and it'll play at 7 o'clock. So you can play different videos. I don't think there's a limit on how many you can play back. So this makes it so much easier compared to a cell phone. So camera, for example, camera 5, I want to play that at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So double click on the green bar and it'll begin playing. So that makes it a lot easier. You can stop the playback on any of these. Just select the square, stop the playback, you double click, and it takes you back. Now let's say I want to cut a piece of this video because I want to send it to somebody. And there's a small scissors down here, and you can see it's selecting. You can move this and drag it to select the amount of time that you would like to clip. And we just hit the scissors again. Now this here is asking us what type of file we want to save it under. You can pretty much select where you want to save it to. You want to create a folder, maybe on your desktop or documents, or somewhere that you know that will be easily accessible. And in this particular, by default, it'll save it under the Smartpss record download section. So I recommend saving it in the either AVI or MPEG-4 because most players will play AVI and MPEG-4. ASF is a standard that video companies and CCTV companies use because it's not very easy to manipulate. So if you're giving this video to police, they will be able to open ASF files as well as AVI and MP4. But for everyday use, I would use AVI or MPEG-4. Your phone or any other device will play back that type of file. And you can also export the player. If you're giving this to a person, let's say you pick the ASF file and you want to give that as the original video, then you would need to export the player as well. So you would play back the video in its original format. So for right now, I'm going to use AVI, and I'm going to hit OK. So it's just telling me it's going to stop the playback because I am recording this. So you can see it's exporting the file, and depending on the size of the file, then it may take a couple of minutes. I've had a file take about 25 minutes because it was a really long break-in, and there was a lot of video. So you can see the file is moving. So once this is done, then it'll be saved on your computer, on your hard drive, and you can email it or put it on a flash drive or a disk drive if your computer has that. But then that would be really easy way to export it and to send it to somebody. I'm not going to wait for this to complete. I'm going to get out of that. And again, our options that I have open are playback, live view, and then our screen for adding devices. You can get out of all of these. And that would take you back to your main menu. Let's say I don't have any windows open. I just want to go to live view. I can double click on my property, and the video would populate. So depending on the number of properties that you have, you may have 15, 20, 30 properties here. And so it's nice to have one computer that has all these properties on them that you can go back to and view and record and upload, download videos for for different incidents. So the only options you will use are live view, playback, and devices if you need to change or add any other DVRs. Again, you want to add, and you want to go to serial number, put in the information, device name usually is the property address, serial number, I would provide that to you, username and password I would provide as well, and then you would add it. And if it was done correctly, then you would have a green online status. Then you can go into your live view and bring up the properties. So hope this has been helpful. If you hover your cursor over the screen, it'll tell you the resolution. So that's a 1080 resolution. And there are different streams. You can also zoom in. And that's done with a loop right here. You click on that, and then you can zoom in and move that picture around. So this is a nice feature on this Smartpss program. And just to recap, dahua.com/smartpss, download for Windows or Mac, and you extract it, install it, and once you put in your initial username and password, then it'll leave an icon on your desktop, which is this one, and that'll get you to your videos. Okay, hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, you can email me. And that is it. Thank you.